Welcome back to Saffa Unscripted. It's not just myself, boys. I know we haven't posted in about 2 to 3 months. Myself and Brevan took Saffa Unscripted, but as you know, life gets in the way every now and again. But we couldn't just leave you high and dry. We're going to continue this. Obviously, Brevan's just focusing on the work life. The guy got engaged, as you guys know, and he's also still a full-time student. So we'll see when Brevan joins us again. But we've got a solid replacement. It's a brother of mine. We've got Frosty. Now, if you guys haven't seen Frosty, this is Frosty. If you guys haven't seen him before, he's also on TikTok. He's also on social media. I met him literally at the start of when I started creating this rugby stuff, and I couldn't think of anyone better to join us. Robin, Frosty, how you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it, Casual? First of all, thanks for obviously having me on the channel. This is a great channel. I've followed the content since the day you guys started posting. Really good quality content. I just also like the fact that you can just openly chat like you're around the fire and everything is just, unscripted.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, from my side, as an introduction, I go as Robin Frosty on social media. A lot of people know me as the car guard sidestepper. So some of the content that I do is a little bit different to what Casual does. I find a car guard, maybe they've had a couple dorks in them, and, I challenge them to a good old sidestep and then post it on social media. So that's sort of my background on social media in terms of rugby, the love and passion for rugby. I went to a big rugby school, Porus Gymnasium in Stellenbosch. After that, I went to Durban and played 2 years Currie Cup at the under-19 Sharks. And now I've hung up the boots and decided to give some rugby content a go. And I can't wait to see where that goes. And I thank Casual again for having me on this channel.
Yeah, of course. And obviously we as South African boys, we're just massive fans of rugby. And that is kind of the basis of this whole thing. So people, if you're new to this channel, please do think about hitting the like and subscribe button. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're excited to take you on this journey, and never say never. I mean, Brevan, he might be joining us again one day, right? So anyway, without any further ado, Robin, we're just going to jump right into it because this is a massive year for the Springboks. A massive year. 100%. We've got the Barbarians, we've got Italians, we've got the Georgians. We're playing twice in New Zealand. Massive rugby championship. I've said this a couple of times that this is going to be the best rugby championship that we've had in forever. And then obviously people talking about our, let's say, easier run at the end of last year. Well, we've got the big boys this year. Tell me, if you think about the Springboks this year, are you a bit more nervous or are you excited? Because obviously we played about 52 players last season. You excited to see it narrow down, or do you want to see a couple of more boys getting a shot in that Springbok jersey?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see a few guys get a shot. I think what Rassie does really well with these big groups is giving people the opportunity to express themselves on a big stage. We've got a couple home games against, I wouldn't say, lesser competition, but we can definitely test out a few players against some of those teams. The worst time of the year for me personally, I'm from Cape Town. Casuals from Cape Town. It's super cold over the winter, but when this time of the year comes around, international rugby, the Boks just make it so much better. So I'm super excited for it, and I can't wait for those games to kick off. I am a bit nervous, I won't lie, especially for those All Black tests, but it's going to be great.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, it's not really the lesser opposition when we focus on Italy and Georgia and the likes of them. I mean, you look at the end of the year, Italy, you look at the start of even this season, right? Italy in the Six Nations, they're an impressive team. It's a country that's rugby talent's growing. You look at their under-20s, right? They're also growing. Georgia is one of those teams where we would be expected to beat them, but this is still a team that beat Wales. This is still a team that gave Australia a run for their money. This is a team that they want to grow as a rugby nation, which is obviously great for us. Like, I have no problem at all with them traveling to us, seeing that it's a British and Irish Lions tour. But this season, I'm kind of focused on, I want to see regular game time for some of the guys that were let's say on the edge of joining. I want to see a Cameron Hanekom get some proper games. I'm seeing that Jasper Wiese is out, Dwayne Vermeulen has retired. I want to see a couple of youngsters getting an opportunity, even the likes of a Ethan Hooker, if you want to, Lorenzo Julius, right? I want to see Sasha have a season where he's not really injured, but he gets a solid run in that 10 jersey. We know what Mani offers you. We know what Andre Pollard offers you. But this, for me, is the season of getting a couple of young guys, but not having a fully rotated 15, like we played against, for instance, Portugal. I want to see young guys getting experience with the experienced guys. Like imagine a Lucy pack of Siakulisi in the 6, Peter Steph to 2 in the 7, Cameron Hanekom in the 8 jersey, for instance. That's kind of what I want to see. I don't want to see 52 players. Now, obviously, I'm not Rusty, but what's your thoughts on that? Would you want to see more rotation? Would you like to see the experienced guys, or you think like a mix of the lot is the best choice to go?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, rotation's always good because you get to see who's ready for the big leagues. Up first, we've got you've got a Barbarians team that is going to be formulated with a bunch of other international players, and even though that game might not be as serious as the others that are coming, it would be interesting to see a couple of new faces. Also, a lot of the international boys that are playing overseas, as far as I know, aren't going to be eligible to play during that game. So maybe having quite a big rotation for that Cape Town game might be exciting.
I wouldn't look too much into that one. It's kind of, it gives the same vibes as the test that we had last year when we traveled to Twickenham and played Wales. So I'm not even sure if that counts as a test cap or anything. I mean, they can play Palucas in that team. That doesn't really matter too much for me. But when it comes to the more serious games, even the Italian games and stuff, I want to see us take them serious. Play strong boys. That's obviously, it's the pride of wearing the green and gold. This is not a cap giving festival. Because when we play against, for instance, New Zealand, I don't want us to kind of revert back to, okay, we're just going with the experienced guys. Do you remember last season when we played against Ireland and we played brilliantly in the first game? Obviously, they came back, but we won that game, and then we decided to go with the old heads, right? The most experienced team that we've ever played. I don't want to do that this season again. I want to see the experienced guys, but I want to see guys that's on form in the URC. And we'll speak about the URC in a second, because obviously it's been sensational for us as South Africans. But I want to see those young guys who's been performing get that opportunity. I don't want to just purely go based on name basis. So when we travel to New Zealand, I want to see the guys that performed in the URC. I want to see the guys that performed against Italy as well, where it's like, you guys performed well in the green and gold. Go and do it in the big game. Because that's exactly what we did with Sasha. And look at how his game's just exploded, obviously. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from what it sounds like from me, you don't want too much change, but you want to give people the opportunity in pieces. So it's not an outright change of the team. You want every game to be taken seriously. And but you also want to give opportunity to guys like Sasha, guys like Cameron Hanekom, these sort of players that have put up their hand in the URC. And, I couldn't agree more. That's the sort of players that I want to see. I mean, they're already talking about Sasha being a Dan Carter-esque type of player. So I think we should definitely give him that opportunity to express himself in that number 10 jersey. I'm a big fan of Mani Lebok as well. He has had a bit of a rough patch, and including some injuries and stuff like that. But I really feel that it's Sasha's time right now. And if he can just stay injury-free, who knows, maybe we do see what the headlines are saying.
Yeah, and a big thing with it is also a run of games. Because one thing that I've always been scared of when it comes to the Springboks is we do rotation, but it's for one game only. Like, this is no criticism, but it's, for instance, Evan Roos. Now, we watch him day in, day out play for the Stormers, and we watch him with a close eye. He is sensational. And I think a lot of people don't see that talent because they may be, for instance, like a Bulls or Lions supporter. They keep a closer eye on their franchises. But we know the talent that he has. We know he's very much worked on his discipline issues. Like, the guy hardly concedes any penalties. He's at every breakdown, workhorse, carries the ball hard. Then he goes to the Springboks and he plays one game in about 10. And then it's like, he's going to play one game and he tries to do too much. He doesn't impress then. So I kind of want to see, for instance, the likes of a Cameron Honeycomb, who's kind of in the same boat as him, get a run of games. Give them 3 games, 4 games to get there. Because we even saw it with the All Blacks. Do you remember the time when they were looking for a 10 and everyone knew how good Richie Mo'unga was, but he never got that consistent game time. And all of a sudden, when he had that, there was no question about it that he's the best 10 in the world. Probably now still the best 10 in the world, even though he's not playing international rugby. It's all about the consistency, and that's kind of what I want to see with the young guys, but in the system. I think it makes it so much better when they have that little bit of experience around them. But that's just like my little bit of 2 cents around it. Would you maybe go for a bit more rotation, or do you think they should get some consistency in terms of giving the guy a good few run of games?
I personally think we're going to see quite a bit of rotation. I think Rusty's plan, I think it's been like a 2-year, 3-year plan of having these massive squads, these massive alignment camps. I think he's looking to get a few boys into those teams, rotating quite a bit, because come the next World Cup, everyone's going to have a couple caps under their belt. And they're going to probably be a lot more, how can I say, feel a lot better wearing a Springbok jersey rather than just being put into a game in a World Cup. So I think we're going to see rotation. Would I like to see a lot of rotation? Probably not. I want us to take every single game seriously and give the boys that have been performing a chance. And yeah, I mean, we're so gifted in this country with a loose trio. So a guy like Ivan Rus, I mean, he put his hand up for the Stormers, and like you said, he's just not getting that snowball effect when it comes to the Springboks, because he'll play a game or play half a game, and he just doesn't get that momentum. So if Rusty does give someone like Cameron Honeycomb a chance, or Tutuka, or whoever it may be, give these guys a little bit more play time so that you can get the snowball effect. Because that's when a player, and coming from my background in rugby, when a coach, backs their player, that's when you play in confidence. And we've seen it in players like Sasha. So I feel like players like, Cameron Honeycomb, the Ivan Rurses, give them some more time to express themselves. That is how you develop a player. And Rusty's known for developing players. But I think he, Ivan Rus has got a bit of the, short end of the stick in a few of these appearances.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. And as we're getting to kind of the business end of the URC season, I kind of want to just ask you the question straight up. If you look at some of the guys that have stood out for you this URC season, let's just say 2 or 3 guys, who's kind of caught your eye from the South African perspective in our franchises that you would think not necessarily should get a run of games, but at least get that call up where they have to get recognized? For instance, I'll give you 2 examples, right? Just straight off the bat from the Bulls, David Creel has been brilliant at center, inside center, outside center. If you had to play fullback, he can play fullback. He's been absolutely brilliant for a good few seasons now. I think Jake White's kind of revolutionized him, and he knows I kind of picked up his game as well. And he's been best 9 for South Africa for the past 2 seasons. I know we love Grant Williams. We've got 9. But I also think we've got aging 9s. Ambrose Papier, he has been sensational. Those are like 2 guys that just really stood out for me that I feel absolutely deserve a call up. Keep your eye on him. Ethan Hooker. I've said this a million times before. Are there any guys that's kind of caught your eye that's not a regular in the Springbok team throughout the season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, straight off the bat, before you even gave your answers, I was thinking Ethan Hooker, mainly because players that I enjoy watching are players that play with intent. Every single time he steps on the field, there's always good intent to just improve and do better. You see it in his defensive game, you see it in his attacking game. That's someone that I'll definitely want to see getting cycled into the box. I mean, another one which is probably not as popular, Suleiman Hartzenberg, coming back from injury. Ooh. He has played really well.
21
so I'd like
old.
to see him. Yeah, he's still young. I'd like to see him get a chance as well. I mean, other guys, Lorenzo Julius, he's not part of the alignment camp, but there's definitely future. There's a future position there for him as well. A few things that he has to still work on. And yeah, other than that, there's so many loosies putting up their hand as well. The Tuka brothers, I'd like to see all of them get given a chance. But we're so gifted in South Africa that we've got all these players. We also have to be careful of giving these players and just putting them out in the Springbok jersey too early. Allow them to
Yeah.
get a bit more, composure in their game, sharpen up on their skills, understand what it means to play for the Springboks before they just get thrown in the deep end. But yeah, there's a few players that have stuck up their hand, and I'd like to see them for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you get this thing where I've seen a lot of fans, for instance, talk about that the Springboks, we've got an aging team or whatever. But if you just listen to the names that we just mentioned, young guys coming through. I mean, we've got a prop that plays hooker as well in Jan Hendrik Wessels. Rassie absolutely loves him, right? We've still got Ruan Orkia. You've still got Henku van Wyk. Neither of us mentioned him at outside centre as an opportunity. Ethan Hooker, Lorenzo Julius, Sasha, Damian Willems is still only 26, 27, right? Like, the amount of talent that we still have of young guys that are coming through just gives me that calming effect. And the fact that you've got a system and a structure with the Springboks through Rassie and the coaching staff and the experience there, where it's like they can just come in, learn the game, and go on. Right? It's not like we're going to have a bulk of retirements where it's like 10 of them go at one stage and we just drop off. You mentioned it a couple of times now, where it's just like the depth that we have in this country is sensational. It's just, it has to get to that point where it's not a momentum swing where everyone just goes and now it's a new team. That's why I want these young guys to kind of get blood into the team, so that when the big boys go, you've got these guys that's got experience now, and then they can bring in the younger guys again. So that's kind of the whole perspective that I've got on it. But anyway, we've spoke about the Springboks now. I want to chat quickly about the URC, and we'll have a video out for you guys later this week when it comes to the URC. By the way, we'll see if we can post we used to do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll see if we can either hit the Monday and the Wednesday or the Monday and the Friday. So we'll try and get at least 2 episodes to you guys out every single week. But I want to ask you, as a whole, have you been impressed by the South African franchises in the URC? Or do you think we could have done a bit better?
I mean, straight off the bat, beginning of the season, rough start. Rough start for the Stormers, rough start for the Sharks, Bulls.
It was only kind of the Lions, right, that really started well. And then they're the only team that didn't do well in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Lions got a good start. Obviously, squad depth would have caught up to them. Stormers had a lot of injuries, so you didn't actually see that dominance like the Stormers had in the first 2 years of the URC. Bulls brought it back nicely, and obviously Sharks cemented a home quarter as well. I like the way that it's situated. You might disagree with me in terms of the matchups. I know the Stormers have to play away, so for us as Stormers supporters, to go and play Glasgow is not the easiest. These are reigning champions. But what's nice is you've got 3 South African teams split up, not playing each other. So that means we've got more chance of having guys in the semis and in the finals. So that's what I like about it. From a rugby perspective, from a Stormers perspective, no, because now we have to travel to Scotland.
And we love traveling.
We're the best travelers.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you, right? It was a bit of a tough start. And the Sharks have kind of played the Springbok way, right? With all the internationals, it's kind of been like, it's not been the most convincing, but they've got it done, right? And Rassie has obviously come out and said, listen, we've been working overtime to get our system better, to get the attacking system better. Obviously, now that we have Tony Brown, we want to play the more attractive rugby, but also keep the foundations of what makes it South African rugby. The Sharks have kind of just taken that. The Stormers, on the other hand, it was a terrible start. And I don't blame Dobbo. To some degree, I feel like there's some things that he could have done better in terms of the management of getting more young players out there. It took way too long for Paul de Villiers to come through, and I was screaming for this guy to play. The same goes for instance, JC Mars. I was screaming for even Imad Khan to get a run. Those are the type of things. But in the end, this is a Stormers team that sat with 18 injuries at a point where it's like only 2 first-team players were fit. That's terrible, right? Like, if you run through that team and you're like, I don't even know who's playing in my own team. That's tough, right? There's only so much that you can do with it. So I've got grace with the Stormers. If you look at the way that we ended, beautiful. And I want us to take that momentum into Glasgow. The Bulls, at the moment, they're the team to beat. They are playing brilliantly. If you look at the momentum that they're carrying since they've gone on tour, even before they went on tour, playing at home, getting a victory over Munster, getting a victory over Glasgow, coming back, smacking the Dragons. Who's the other team that they beat at home as well? Was it only the Dragons? I can't even remember.
Yeah, of recent years.
But they've been brilliant, right? You have to give your credit which due. I'm not a massive fan of the Bulls, right? Everyone knows it. But you have to give your credit. They've been the team to beat. With the Lions, it's always the same story. They started so well, but they're playing the same team in the URC, Challenge Cup or Champions Cup, and Currie Cup. And the squad is already not there to even complete the entire season of just one of them. I'm just thinking, put the Cheetahs and the Lions together and just share the home games between Bloom and Ellis Park. Because I'm sure the people in Bloom would love to go and see a game out there. Because
Are
they're
you
not seeing
saying a
anything.
combined team?
Yeah, just throw them together, and then for the Currie Cup, you just split them up again.
Okay.
That's proper squad depth that you've got there. Because what are the Cheetahs doing?
Where would they train?
No, well, obviously they'll have to find a spot like in the middle, or with the team coming together. They'll just have to stay in a hotel or whatever it has to be. Kind of like they did in the past with the Cats.
Yeah.
So I know obviously it's not ideal, but I think it would be a decent financial move. It'll boost your squad depth. It will make you definitely get you more talent, right? So you can get onto a competing level. It's just something to think about. Because the Cheetahs, obviously, they carry that rugby heritage in South Africa. There's so many Springboks that's kind of come from the Cheetahs. I know I'm not a business guy out here, but it just makes a bit more sense in my head. Obviously, there is restrictions to it, but it's just some fruitful thought.
Yeah, I think it does make sense. The Cheetahs being in Bloemfontein have one of the strongest like high schools in Grey College, Grey Bloem. So they like a factory for these, really talented rugby players. But unfortunately, they all get bought out by bigger franchises. So maybe, a coalition between the Lions and the Cheetahs, where they have some sort of general training facility, and you put them together for the URC, and then they go their separate ways outside of the URC competition, would work. You mentioned some of the
Don't
other.
you think that people are starved in Bloom for watching some rugby live? So you can split the games between Ellis Park. Let's say the games that people don't want to necessarily go and watch at Ellis Park. You say, listen, okay, Benetton's coming down here. Ellis Park doesn't necessarily want to go and watch it because they get the other bigger games. Put that in Bloom. The people are starving for a game. Go and watch it in Bloom then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the Lions Stadium when they play a home game, you've got a handful of people watching that game. I mean, at least play in Bloemfontein as a combined team, and those people in Bloem are going to come and watch. I'm telling you now. So
very passionate people. They'll come out there.
Very passionate. They love their rugby.
Yeah.
Boerewors and rugby. That's it.
Exactly. But overall, it's been good for the Saffas, but now we have to kick on, right? The Bulls will have to feel this has to be our fucking year. Because if it's not, something's wrong. I mean, since we started, they've gone to, what was it? Final against us, semi-final, final.
Yeah. I think they're going to play for a deeper meaning. Obviously, with the unfortunate passing of Cornel Hendricks, I think they're going to come with another type of fire into these next few games. Rugby players, as much as they're big and macho, they can also be emotional. And if they put that emotional, unfortunate events with them and play for each other and for such a legend like Cornel Hendricks, you're going to see them really performing.
Yeah. The South African teams have a good opportunity at this, right? Like, we saw the Sharks when it mattered last season, Challenge Cup final. They played an absolutely storming game because now they've got it's the thing with the Sharks where it feels like I've got so many big names that everyone kind of wants to stand out. But when it comes to the big matches, they get some mental clarity. You look at that Gloucester game, everyone did the groundwork. Where throughout the season, it's not necessarily like that. But now that they know they're playing for the URC title, they're finally in that opportunity of getting that opportunity. I just feel like the actual Springbok form might come out there and they'll understand the job. They're going to be a scary team to beat. The Bulls at home at Loftus, I know they've lost a couple of games this season there, but never write them off there. Right? They'll beat anyone at Loftus. You look at the Stormers on the other end, with the way that we are playing recently, right? If we can sharpen up that defense, you've got all the attacking talent in the world. I know we have to travel to Glasgow if we get past them, then Leinster. But don't write off the Stormers team. This is the same Stormers team that's won the URC. Same one that played in the final the year after. Right? So this Stormers team can do it. It just got to back the boys that they'll do it. Just keep your head. I think on paper we can match up pretty well with any team in the URC. So just give me your prediction. Do you reckon the trophy comes to South Africa again?
Yes, but not with the Stormers or the Sharks. That's my prediction.
If we win, so you got the Bulls winning it all.
I got the Bulls winning it.
Do they meet Leinster in the final at the Viva?
Yeah, unless Leinster have another slip up. You know, ever since South African teams have joined the URC, they've just been slipping up, haven't won anything. So, you know, history might repeat itself. Maybe the Bulls play a home final in Loftus and the Stormers take out Leinster. Who knows? But
how good
yeah,
would a
I see the Bulls.
Stormers Bulls final be at Loftus?
I mean, do we get Damien back
I'm backing the Stormers. I'm backing the Stormers.
Do we get Damien back in? Because he's on a 3-match ban.
He is, but he'll probably go to tackling school, which makes it 2 games.
Okay, that would mean that he would have to. That would mean that he would only play in the final.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking, but I know you'd like to see your favorite player play again. So you know, hopefully the Stormers can get through.
World. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah, I partially agree with you. I'm a bit biased because I went to his school, but you know, don't want to be too biased.
Yeah, but anyway, we are happy with the standings of the South African teams. We've given ourselves a great opportunity to go out there and win it again. I'm not writing off Glasgow. I'm not writing off Leinster. I'm most certainly not writing off Munster. They love getting points in South Africa, but we'll speak about that a bit later on in the week. So stay tuned for that, people. Thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Go to Frosty's Instagram, go to his TikTok, show him some love and support there as well. And thank you for joining this journey again. Hopefully we see you guys here every single week again, twice a week. Take care of yourself. We'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Cheers.